And I'll just go ahead and get started. I appreciate everybody being prompt. My name is Laura Jackson. I am the volunteer coordinator at AHC. Um, and I really appreciate that y'all are offering to help this summer. So we're going to do the orientation now, and then everything that we talk about, I will send to you by email. I'll talk a little bit about AHC, then I'll talk about camp. We have a volunteer agreement that we're going to need everybody to review and sign. We'll talk about a few other policies and stuff, and then you'll go into a breakout room by the location where you're volunteering. Gates of Ballston volunteers are going to stay with me, and a few of you don't have your assignment yet. And so I'll see if I can make that happen during the call. But here we go. So AHC, we are an affordable housing developer. We have, I think, over 50 properties now in Arlington, Alexandria, all throughout the region, all the way up to Baltimore. So these are pictures of some of the buildings that we have. So they're all apartment buildings where people live, and that is where we host these summer camps. Oops, too fast. Well, one. Sorry, there we go. So in addition to the summer camp, we have education programs year round. So some of you do volunteer with us during the school year. Awesome. We hope that others of you will have a great time this summer and want to come back during the school year. The school year programs are in the same locations where you're going to be volunteering in the summer. So they're in the community centers in these apartment buildings where the students live. You are helping with the elementary school students, but we do have programs for middle and high school students. In addition to these education programs, we do a lot of other things with our residents. We have food distribution programs, so bring in food from AFAC and from other food pantries. We have holiday events, Thanksgiving, winter holidays. We'll have back to school drives. So a lot of things going on in our property. Oops. So summer camp. The summer camps, oh my gosh, they're so much fun. So it's a good combination of educational activities and play. The theme this year is leadership, and you will hear more about that in the breakout rooms, and then you'll hear even more about that when camp starts. Our staff, and this isn't a bullet point, but maybe should be, all of our centers have one or two staff members for their leading the activities. So they have a plan for the day. They've thought through activities that you will be assisting them with. That being said, if you have an idea for an activity, once you've been there for a few days, some kind of leadership that you've been involved with, or really anything, talk to the staff, and they would welcome you leading an activity as well. But they will have a plan for every 15 to 30 minute time block throughout the 5-hour day. So camp runs Monday through Thursday. There is no camp on Friday. The time period is 12:30 to 5:30. And I know a lot of you are able to volunteer that whole time. That is super helpful. Thank you. If you can't, just talk to the staff about your specific, when you need to leave, come and leave, especially on Mondays and even more on Thursdays. If we're off site at the National Zoo and you needed to leave at 3:30 and we're at the zoo, that's going to be an issue. So talk to the staff in advance about that if you're not able to stay the whole time. And anytime, if you have a change of plans, you get sick, anything happens, you're going to talk to the staff member. So I've been your main point of contact up until now, and then I am turning it over to the staff at the centers, and they're going to be the ones that need to know. So this is an experiment. I'm wondering if everybody can scan that in and pull up the camp volunteer agreement. And if that doesn't work, I'm putting the link in the chat. So it would be great if everybody pulls that up. now. Is that working? Yes, anybody?
It's working, Laura.
All
For me.
right, I'm so fancy. Okay, so I would like everybody to look at this camp volunteer agreement. I'm going to talk through some of the important points. You can, I think it says to put the date in there as you're reading it. So again, attendance, please let the staff know if your plans change. They're counting on you to be there. They don't want you if you're sick, but otherwise they're counting on it, and it'll just help them a lot to make their plans if your plans change. So that is attendance. Confidentiality. So you are volunteering in Arlington, where many, if not all of you, live, go to school. So you're in the community with these students. You might know them. You might know their older siblings. You might see their families around. I am not saying don't say hello if you see them somewhere else, but don't talk about these children. Don't say little and then use the name so and so did the funniest thing at camp, or you can say a student did something funny. If you really need to, you really want to share what you're seeing with your family or with your friends, but don't talk about people by name afterwards. Another side piece of that, if a student tells you something like my mom's really mean to me, or just anything that makes you nervous, hearing that, a little bit uncomfortable, talk to the staff members. Don't they know these children well. A lot of the children are with us during the school year, so if you have you hear anything that you're unsure about, just talk to the staff instead of talking to each other. I still have COVID safety in here, but if you're any kind of sick, please stay home, keep your germs at home, and just let us know that you're not going to be able to make it. Next thing are boundaries. So these students are younger than you, so please don't tell inappropriate jokes around them. I'll talk a little bit about social media. Like, for the most part, you're not going to be on social media. You would never be following the students. They really are probably too young, hopefully, to have social media. But if it's, let's say, a rainy day and you've got a little downtime and you want to show them a funny cat video, you can ask the staff if that's okay. But just please think about what is inappropriate for their age. Keep it really, they're very young, keep it simple. But that shouldn't come up very much. And please talk to staff if you have any questions. So you shouldn't be taking photos of the students, videos, anything like that. They might give you hugs. And if so, you can give them a hug back. You can also, like now that we've been through COVID, fist bump or whatever feels comfortable. Well, whatever, you can follow their lead, but even if that's not comfortable to you, then you can say, oops, I'd rather do a fist bump. So just keep boundaries in that way too. Okay, I don't think you should not be getting together outside of program, asking personal questions. If a student is talking to you about how, their mom's been sick, you don't have to say, oh no, we can't talk about your family. But you can just listen, you don't ask a lot, just listen, and then you can talk to the staff later if it was something that you were feeling concerned about. The staff, and we will go through this in the breakout rooms, they have a list of how volunteers can help. So there's a checklist, you can ask them, they'll show you where it is. The more proactive you can be, the better. There are 20 kids for the most part and 1 or 2 staff members. And so we really rely on you being helpful. If you're volunteering with a friend, or if you make a friend, that's great. But remember that your focus should be on the students in our program. So just talk to the students, get to know them. No cell phones. If you need to notify your ride home or something, sure, ask a staff member when's the best time to do that. But don't be using your cell phones while you're volunteering. So for attire, we ask people to, just it's casual, but wear t-shirts, long shorts. When you're in the pool, please wear t-shirts or a one piece. The children will be jumping around, they don't want them to grab your top. And so we want everyone to be covered. And last thing, we want you to have a great time. So if you have any questions, any concerns, any confusion about what you should be doing, please talk to the staff member. They are there and they want to make you have a good experience. They want to help you have a good experience. Are there any questions about any of this? You can type them in the chat. You can take yourself off mute. You can wait and ask during the breakout room if you'd rather do that.
A quick question. Do the field trips involve like public transportation or buses? How does that go?
The field trip are on buses. So the
Okay.
buses come to the center and the staff will have a very detailed, specific plan. The bus will be coming to their center at 2:15. But we have room, there's no cost to your students. Everything we're doing, it's, part of our program. So
Excellent.
I think
Thank
there's
you.
one center that walks to the pool, but then the other centers take the bus to the pool on their pool days. And you can confirm that in the breakout room as well. Yeah, anything else?
Quick question.
Yeah.
I'm not extremely comfortable with pools. Do I have to go in or
No.
no? Perfect.
No, but please let the staff member know, either in this breakout room, in the chat. Last year, one of the centers I was at, there was somebody who didn't want to get in the pool, but it was still helpful to have them there. The pool has life jackets that, on the deck, you can be getting people life jackets if a child needs to go to the bathroom, point out where that is. So there's still ways to be useful. So.
Okay, thank you.
No. All right. So, little pop quiz here. I don't need everybody to call out, or you don't even need to write it in the chat, but if you're sick, if you're running late, if anything is going on with your schedule, you need to talk to the staff at your center. If you don't know what to do on a particular day or a particular time, please talk to the staff at your center. If there's anything that you want, like where are the books? We've already finished this book. We want another book. We need some scissors. We're looking for a game to play. Our centers have a lot of resources, and they'll point all that out to you on your first day probably. But if you forget, if you're looking for a particular type of book, they easily could know where it is. But if you have a friend who wants to volunteer, please have them contact me. I'm the right person for that one. We are still looking for volunteers at a few of our centers. So if you know of anybody, friend, neighbor, family member who might be willing to help, please have them email me. All right. So I'm going to go through this. These are pictures of the buildings where you're going to be volunteering. Hopefully everybody knows where they are assigned. And the phone number. The phone numbers you can text, you can call. These are the email addresses. I will send all of this out by email later. And in the breakout room, they'll go over all of this again. But right now, you can get out your phone and you can enter the information so that you have it when you need it. So this is the Apex, this building. Fort Henry is the red brick building. Gates of Ballston. This is the community center at the Gates of Ballston. Harvey Hall, that is the green door. So it is, that's where volunteers enter. The Harvey Hall building, there's some glass doors that aren't in this photo, but the green door is where volunteers will enter at Harvey Hall. And again, the names and phone numbers. Virginia Gardens, the classroom is on the lower level. So this picture is the parking lot level. And then you'll go downstairs to get in that building. Woodbury Park, Frederick, that is, all of our properties are maybe slightly confusing your first day. So please be sure to come on time or early your first day. But this is the door where you'll enter at Woodbury Park, Frederick. So it's a high-rise building, maybe 13 or 14 floors above that. That's not in the picture, but that's the door that you will go in and out of when you're volunteering. And I think we're going to the breakout rooms now. So I really hope